Good evening. Thanks for joining us. A jury has delivered its recommendations at a coroner's inquest into a fatal police shooting near Tofino 5 years ago. And as Kendall Hansen reports, while the recommendations are meant to prevent a similar incident in the future, some say they could have gone further.
These are pictures of the house in a pitsit near Tofino where a woman being held against her will called police in February 2021. These are among several exhibits in the coroner's inquest obtained by CHEK News.
Police emergency for what city?
Mike, this is a very, very fast call right now.
What's happening?
I've been taken advantage of by two different people who have conditions, and they're not letting me leave.
During the woman's 14-minute 911 call, the dispatcher is able to determine who's at the home and its location. The woman tries to cover up who she's on the phone with.
Yeah, anyways, I really like talking to you, Grandma.
Two Tofino RCMP officers are dispatched and take a boat to the community. One officer testified they were met by 28-year-old Julian Jones holding what the officer believed were knives. He wouldn't drop them when directed. The officer testified they tried to taser him unsuccessfully before his colleague shot him 3 times, killing him. Today, the jury delivered 4 recommendations. To the RCMP, the jury recommended mandatory body cameras be worn by all officers and that all operational officers carry tasers and be trained in their use. The jury also asked that an Indigenous liaison work with Tofino RCMP. And for BC Emergency Health Services, the jury recommended water taxi service contracts be available 24 hours a day for the exclusive use of BC EHS paramedics in Tofino.
We're trying to stop the shooting of First Nations people. And, we really need strong recommendations from them. But, I know when there's so much being put into evidence that it's difficult to do that.
The head of the New Channel Tribal Council says she's glad to see recommendations around tasers and more water taxi service, but wishes the recommendations went further.
I'm disappointed that there were no recommendations on training for police in shooting to disarm. They don't train their RCMP officers to disarm. They just tell them to shoot, 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 and, there we have someone who's already is dead on the 3rd shot, and, was it necessary?
Sayers says she also would have liked to have seen a stronger recommendation about relationship building between the RCMP and First Nations.
Victoria police say multiple people were arrested after officers responded to a reported home invasion in Vic West last night. Surveillance video showing police entering a home in the 700 block of Belton Avenue.
Police, I can see you under the deck. Come up from underneath there. Mr. Police, I see you. You're under the deck. Come out with your hands up, nothing in your hands. Do it now.
Vic PD says there were concerns that armed individuals may have been inside. The investigation is ongoing. Well, 1 year after a 12-year-old boy was killed by a speeding driver, the province will be closing public access to a popular road in the Cowichan Valley down the street from where the tragedy took place. Mackenzie Reed has more.
A procession of first responders traveled down Hillbank Road near Cobble Hill as hundreds of people gathered Tuesday to mark the 1-year anniversary of the day 12-year-old Xavier Razul Yankovic was killed by a speeding driver while rollerblading with his family.
It was amazing. There was so much support, and it just felt really special to know how many people really care about not just like Xavier and what happened, but our family too.
The community filled the street with chalk art, wrote messages for Xavier, and shared stories of the boy who was loved by many.
It was very heart-wrenching and heartwarming also all at the same time.
During the memorial, Wandafuka Malahad MLA Dana Lajeunesse announced a nearby gravel roadway called Poplar Road will be closing to the public, saying this particular access has been used for years as a shortcut to avoid police on the highway between Duncan and Cobble Hill, with many speeding down it to Hillbank.
There are gates currently being fabricated as we speak, and those gates will be going up either the last week of this month or early in September.
Xavier's family is happy to see the road closed after a year of advocacy and 2 incidents, including Xavier's fatal collision and when a driver accelerated through a crowd that had gathered on Hillbank on March 20th in memory of Xavier's birthday.
If we can save even one person, then it'll be worth the fight.
Both Xavier's death and the March 20th dangerous driving incident that did not result in any injuries are being investigated by RCMP.
We hope that Xavier's Law is going to help a lot of people.
The family is still hoping Xavier's Law will come into effect. The bill brought forward last year would allow police to issue immediate 30-day roadside driving bans to reckless drivers and bans to be extended up to 3 years. It passed its second reading and is nearing the end of the committee stage.
I'm hoping that we can get it through for third reading early in the fall term.
The family has also announced they're using donations to start an $18,000 scholarship to Simon Fraser University's new medical school to help improve care in rural areas like the Cowichan Valley, and a full-ride scholarship to Shawnigan Lake School where Xavier would have studied this fall.
Funding has come from all around the world. And so to be able to put that to work and have these scholarships go on for years at a time, not just a one-off scenario, will really keep Xavier's memory.
As the family continues to move forward, one day at a time.
A 16-year-old girl was arrested for impaired driving causing death after a crash killed 2 people in Lanceville early this morning. It happened on Highway 19 near Ware Road just after 3. BC Highway Patrol says it's believed the teen driver of a minivan was traveling north when she crossed the center line, hitting an oncoming car. Both occupants in the car died at the scene. The driver of the minivan was taken to hospital with injuries, but not believed to be life-threatening, and was arrested. Police say they're looking for more information about the van that was seen in Nanaimo about 4 hours before the crash. Oceanside RCMP says a 20-year-old woman died and 2 others were taken to hospital after a single vehicle crash shortly before 7 last night on Highway 19 near the Nanoose rest area. The woman, a passenger, died at the scene. The 2 other occupants, including the 21-year-old driver, were taken to hospital. One was in critical condition and the other in serious but stable condition. Police say impairment has been ruled out. Anyone who saw the crash or who has dashcam video is asked to contact RCMP. A Victoria man who murdered his neighbor in his own bed in 2023 has been given a life sentence. As Corey Sidaway reports, the killer apologized to the victim's family, unable to explain why he did it. And a warning, some of the details are disturbing.
Crown lawyers called it disturbing, a brutal, unprovoked hatchet attack of a vulnerable senior, causing devastating brain injuries and ultimately the death of a Cook Street next-door neighbor. Today, lawyers called for more time behind bars for the man who murdered him in 2023. When Michael King took a hatchet to his defenseless neighbor's head in March of 2023, Crown lawyers called it grievance-fueled violence. That King's spasm of violence was motivated by anger that had been growing over 3 years. King, upset with his neighbor Michael Jones's apparent loud coughing, TV, and indoor smoking. King took a hatchet to Jones's bedroom before delivering at least 5 blows to his head, causing devastating brain injuries and ultimately Michael Jones's death days later. It's an ugly narrative that Crown says deserves more than the mandatory of 10 years behind bars, calling instead for 15. King's defense saw things differently, saying that although King left the scene, washed the murder weapon, he ultimately turned himself into police, citing his lack of criminal history, upbringing in foster care, drug use, and schizophrenia as mitigating factors, calling his life a tragedy. All reasons King's lawyer says as to why they asked for a sentence closer to the 10-year mandatory minimum. For the victim's family, regardless of their brother's killer's troubled background, their lingering loss and trauma remains. His sister telling the court today that Jones's life was stolen from him in the most violent manner, saying their family will never be the same. From the prisoner's box, King chose to speak directly to Jones's family today, turning right towards them, saying, "I want to say I'm truly sorry. Please accept my apology," saying that he doesn't understand how this came to be. The judge found that this was a flagrant wrongdoing, a brutal attack of a defenseless old man who essentially was a shut-in, killed in a space where he was entitled to feel safe and secure handing out a life sentence to King with no parole eligibility for 11 years.
Well, yet another defection from the BC Conservatives. Bruce Banman has become the 6th MLA to quit the party this month, saying in a statement, quote, "Our new leader is unelectable." And with that going on, Conservative leader Carrie Lynn Finley finds herself in more hot water over another leaked recording. Rob Shaw has more.
Well, beleaguered Conservative leader Carrie Lynn Finley facing some tough questions today about whether she's tried to induce MLAs to step aside so she can run in their ridings, which, if proven and true, could break the law. An anonymous Twitter account known as the Finley Files posting audio from inside a July Conservative caucus meeting. MLAs I've spoke to say it's authentic. It appears to back up claims from Delta South MLA Ian Payton that Finley's team was offering jobs and salaries equivalent to MLA pay to MLAs willing to step down so the leader could run in a by-election. Have a listen to that.
My thought is whoever did, if someone was willing to step aside, I could give them a role as a senior advisor in their same portfolio so that they're very much involved and around. But, you know, it would allow for a by-election in 6 months, which now we're in July means could be as late as January. I really would like to see this happen before the ledge goes back in February.
Criminal code forbids anyone from offering a financial incentive to a politician to quit office. Payton, who quit the Conservatives last week, accused the leader of offering him a job and money to vacate his riding. Finley as recently as in a press conference Monday denied that she had ever made such offers, but then this recording drops of her seeming to do it to the entire caucus, kind of undercutting that claim. In a social media post today, Finley calling it a weak attempt at a political smear job and nothing more. These were normal political discussions that respect the boundaries of the law and ethics. She wrote it would be up to the RCMP to investigate something like this. And in a statement, the E-Division said that the RCMP does not comment on social media speculation. It wouldn't confirm or deny any investigation into anyone until such time as charges have been laid. Finley continues to hang on for now anyways, but the controversy continues to seem to rise against her from all sides. It's widely expected there are more MLAs getting ready to step down in the days ahead.
When the President of the United States talks about breaking up measles, mumps, and rubella, it really takes us backwards.
BC's provincial health officer today saying vaccine misinformation promoted by United States officials is stoking unnecessary fears about vaccines proven to work. At a news conference today, Dr. Bonnie Henry encouraging back-to-school immunizations. Henry says there have been more than 400 measles cases in the province in the past year. Henry says most of the cases are in communities where vaccination rates have gone down dramatically.
So we do have a little bit of complacency, and I think it's been compounded by some of the negative rhetoric about vaccines, particularly during the pandemic. So I really encourage people to get credible information from sources that are not politically biased.
Dr. Henry says summer travel puts kids at risk of exposure to viruses such as measles, and parents should make sure their children's immunization records are up to date before school starts. Well, Campbell River's John Deal took a silver medal for his photo of meat-eating Drosera plants, or sundews, in this year's Canadian Geographic Canadian Wildlife Photography of the Year competition. Tyler Cave of Victoria got an honorable mention in the same flora and fungi category for his photo of sunlight-hitting lichens along the northern BC coast. The category's top spot went to Montreal's Anthony Zarafa for his photo of cotton grass growing near Colour Lake in Nunavut. A video sent to us today near Laurel Point where people could be seen running along the trail to get a good look at the show in the water. A group of orcas, including a young whale, breaching the water several times and at one point swimming under a boat near the seawall.
I'm Ed Bain. Your full island forecast is coming up, but first, here's a look at weather around the world. Rain in Belgium as Brussels hit 27. Over in Alberta, Banff had showers in 22. And a warm one in Jamaica as Montego Bay reached 32.
Weather around the world is brought to you by Common Sense Cabinets. Designed for your space, built for your life.
With Lotto 649's 2 jackpots, what possible could you find? Play the growing gold ball jackpot of $20 million, plus the classic jackpot of $5 million.
Life on Vancouver Island means winding roads, quiet forests, and weekend spin off the grid. At Travelland RV, we make it easy to get out there with trusted brands, expert service, and a full parts and body shop to keep you ready for the road. And now with 2 convenient island locations, Cowichan Valley and Parksville, we're closer than ever. Wherever the trail leads, Travelland has you covered. Travelland RV, your affordable, reusable vacation specialists. Simply unbeatable since 1977.
Now is a great time to help you set goals to help you reach financial success.
Maybe you want to reach that success by making a few updates to your home.
Or anything else you've been dreaming of accomplishing.
A Capital Direct FlexiLine can get you there.
How would you use $80,000, $280,000, or even $2.8 million?
For your best financial health, choose FlexiLine Fitness from Capital Direct.
Call us today.
CapitalDirect.ca.
Lucky Leon's is back. Everyone's a winner. Over $10 million worth of prizes and discounts available to be won. Win $5,000 in home furnishing makeover. Win furniture, mattress, and appliance giveaways. Sign up today. Leon's, now that's comfortable.
The Digital Commerce Group Open is coming to Uplands Golf Club. Experience PGA Tour America's action, VIP hospitality, and the Pro-Ams, with proceeds supporting Easter Seals BC and Yukon. Visit dcgopen.ca.
Discover summer evenings at the Butchart Gardens with relaxed family dining and live music on the concert lawn. Wednesday to Sunday evenings, July 3rd to September 5th. Entertainment is included with admission. Details at butchartgardens.com.
The number of Canadians missing in flash flooding along Nepal and China's borders has risen to 30. A torrent of water and mud several stories high swept through communities, washing out buildings and bridges. Nepal police report more than 390 people were killed and more than 1,400 are still missing. The Nepal Tourism Board says 31 foreign nationals have been rescued, but none of them are Canadian. Well, a stretch of Highway 1 south of Boston Bar has reopened after a closure that lasted nearly 2 months due to wildfires in the Fraser Canyon. It says the route is open to alternating single-lane traffic to accommodate BC Hydro crews as they reinstall power poles, and there's still potential the route may close again temporarily. The province has ended the state of emergency, but says the wildfire risk remains. Well, the Union for American Air Traffic Controllers acknowledges allegations 2 of its members left work early shortly before a crash involving an Air Canada flight. The regional jet crashed at New York's LaGuardia Airport in March, killing the 2 pilots. The 2 air traffic controllers allegedly clocked out about an hour before their shift ended, leaving a pair of colleagues without backup. U.S. media reports suggest the Federal Aviation Administration is looking to fire the controllers who left early. Well, Canadian distillers are feeling the pinch with 50% tariffs imposed by the U.S. on many Canadian goods, including spirits. For many distillers, the impact may force them out of the market. Eden Chipperfield reports.
When you're given a choice to choose which suppliers you can choose from, we're choosing Canadians.
Distillers across Canada are bracing for impact after the U.S. imposed 50% tariffs on many Canadian goods last weekend, including liquor and spirits. Here on the island, distilleries are already shifting their focus.
What we're focusing on is this the opportunity to reinvest back into Canadian businesses. So I'm just not looking at our whiskeys and shelf space. I'm looking at the suppliers that we work with. Are they Canadian owned and operated? Are we investing back into Canada? Are we contributing to Canadian jobs? jobs.
Once considering an expansion of product into the States, Macaloni's whiskey is now seeing opportunity arising at home.
It's absolutely impacted us that we are now part of a much larger conversation. So when consumers are coming in, they're no longer wanting to buy American because they're feeling the heat of what the trade wars are doing, not just in terms of alcohol, but into their everyday lives.
But other Canadian distillers aren't so lucky. According to Spirits Canada, about half of the liquor that's produced here is sent to the US. Much of that is big names like Crown Royal and Canadian Club, but even smaller producers are preparing for impact. Crystal Head Vodka, based on the East Coast, says it ships 40% of its bottles south of the border, and the new tariffs will price them out of the market.
I don't think the U.S. consumer will take, we can cut our profit to zero. Our distributors will work tighter, but it would still impact the price of on the shelf significantly.
However, an uptick in sales thanks to Canadians choosing Canadian products is helping distillers who are facing trade barriers.
I had to pivot and put some resources into other areas in order to just sort of insulate ourselves out of necessity.
While the domestic uptick offers a cushion for now, carving out a path forward remains challenging for businesses across Canada, bracing for what else may come their way.
Vancouver Island is represented in Journeyscape's top 5 list for best outdoor sunset dining communities in Canada. The travel website listed Tofino 3rd, followed by Victoria 4th. Journeyscape says Tofino is a strong choice for people looking to combine coastal scenery with casual outdoor dining. The site put Whistler and Kelowna in a tie for top Canadian destinations for golden hour dining. Well, who knew there was a sharpshooter among the 185 residents of Victoria's Ross Place Seniors Community? Target shooting was just one of the many games at the retirement home's annual end of summer celebration this afternoon. There was axe throwing, plinko, and the ever popular toilet toss.
We have such a great population in this community that enjoy being involved and committed to getting together and having a good time.
How did you learn to shoot like that?
I didn't. It just came naturally.
The residents were also treated to carnival foods like corn dogs and some live entertainment.
I'm Ed Bain. Here is your extended forecast. North Island expecting showers or thunder showers for tomorrow. Showers pretty likely after that for several days here, with Saturday and Sunday being showery and cooler by the end of the weekend. 15 degrees by Sunday, 15s ahead for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Showers likely both Monday, Tuesday, a rain day set for Wednesday. That is the North Island picture. Here's the Central. The shower or thunder shower chance sitting at 30% for tomorrow. It's a 19-degree Friday, 20 with a mix on Saturday, then a rain day coming in for Sunday at 17. Temperature is going to stay around 18 or 19 degrees with on and off showers through Monday and Tuesday. A cloudy, dry day set for Wednesday. And the South Island, we should see a pretty decent mix of sun and cloud. Temperatures a little cooler than they've been, but actually nice and comfortable. 21 for tomorrow, 18 and 19 degree highs for the weekend. And on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all carrying a mix of sun and cloud. Temperatures around 20 and 21.
Canadian dollar was up to 72.14 US. The TSX added about 21 points. The Dow increased 106. The Nasdaq rose 411. Gold in the green, $11.50 an ounce, and oil on the plus side, $1.30 to $83.53 a barrel.
You understand when you've been caught in a lie? That's the look that you would get on a guy's face.
Hot Bench. Hot Bench, weekdays at 12:30.
It's the Jeep 85 Years Celebration event. 85 years of daring to ask, what if? Like, what if we didn't sacrifice capabilities for comfort? Or what if nothing on the road ahead could hold us back? For decades, we've chased every what if. Why? Because we can. Right now, get up to $7,500 in total incentives on the 2026 Jeep Compass. Or get 0% financing up to 60 months on the 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Plus, eligible owners can get $1,850 in anniversary bonus cash on all Jeep models.
Now's a great time to set goals to reach your financial success. Maybe you want to make a few updates to your home or anything else you've been dreaming of accomplishing. How would you use $80, $280, or even $2.8 million? Call us today.
CapitalDirect.ca.
We want to make a difference, and not just with teeth. Our clinics are locally owned and operated, which means we can give back to our community. We can remove barriers to dental treatment, and we can put our patients first.
There's a belief that only dealerships have the tools to properly diagnose your vehicle. The truth is, Budget Auto Centers invest in advanced diagnostic equipment and factory-level software. We can read what your car is telling us accurately.
No question. Absolutely. 100%.
Your vehicle is in capable hands. Trusted service since 1972.
Looking for smoother skin, suppler joints, and stronger muscles? Camprev's line of collagen peptides are formulated to target collagen production wherever you need it the most, from head to toe. Available at lifestyle markets. Dedicated to wellness in our community.
New Mr. Clean Magic Erasers make impossible possible. Just wet and squeeze and effortlessly cut through 100% of dirt, grease, and grime. So this is
100% possible.
They're upgraded and last 2 times longer to tackle more messes. It's not just clean, it's Mr. Clean.
Dive into adventure with Prince of Wales. Experience the trip of a lifetime watching orcas, humpback whales, and more. Book now, only at princeofwales.com.
Your roof can do more than keep the rain out. It can power your home. Built for Canadian weather with sleek integrated solar technology. Turn your roof into an investment instead of an expense. Ironwood Shake and Tile.
All-star Winnipeg Jets goaltender Connor Hellebuyck has asked to be traded. Hellebuyck says in a statement that he had privately asked to be traded several months ago, adding he gave the organization time to address his request but decided to go public as training camp nears. Hellebuyck, a 3-time Vezina Trophy winner, is the latest in a series of high-profile American players to seek an exit from a Canadian NHL team.
I think it shows the talent that's coming up in Canada. I think it shows that more and more they're trusting players from Canada, our country.
Spanish soccer club Villarreal introduced its newest member, Canadian midfielder Nathan Saliba. He joins fellow Canadians Tajon Buchanan and Tani Alawashei at the La Liga club, the only team in the history of the 5 major leagues to have 3 Canadians on the same roster. Champions League play starts next month. Saliba represented Canada at this year's World Cup, scoring a goal against Qatar. And Stefan Eustáquio, who scored that game-winning goal against South Africa in the round of 32, he signed with Swansea City, the second tier of English soccer. Great to see Canadian soccer making an impact internationally. That's our show. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.